Shem Adonai, El Shaddai.
Had truth in my spirit, and God helped me to write it down, and I'll just deliver that and let you guys enjoy the rest of the service. Hallelujah. When my eyes beheld the joy that was set before me, I endured the cross and despised the shame of having to bear 3 nails nailed into my flesh as blood drained into the breath that gave life at the very beginning. Right there on the cross, he remembered. He remembered how he became flesh and blood to restore the sonship lost as he gave himself in flesh and blood, paving way for the lawful existence of flesh and blood on earth, a sacrifice to save the precious souls of men required by a God who sent his only begotten in flesh and blood. But you see, the crucifixion wasn't the end. Because in the whole story, it was just a bend leading straight to hell where one man conquered the whole kingdom, obtained the key of life and death, and wholly kissed us with a kiss that man united us with his voice to speak life or death whenever we please. But you see, nevertheless, he begged. He begged that the speaking of life may never cease in our souls that pledged allegiance to always cry with a loud voice, saying, "Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and glory and honor and blessings and wisdom, all in one." And now, this is not a case of somebody said and nobody did. But God said, and every creature in heaven, on earth, under the earth, and such as are in the sea must remain loyal to this call of duty, and equally losing the tongues of other men, such that concerning the works of my hands, they also may command me. And if they refuse, be humble enough to pull your shoes and chase after them. You see, that the world may know his salvation, in that he was centered on words and was spoken into existence long before he won the world war, not once, not twice, but thrice against the devil. And he never faced defeat until he excused the excuse that our ex used to let himself lose by the 7 words he uttered on the cross. And he said, "Unto thy hands I commit my spirit." Then the key to the pad that locked our future was instantly forged. No wonder Jabez, who understood the use of this key, opened the door of his closed destiny when he went on his knees and prayed to be blessed, enlarged, protected, and preserved till his honor came knocking, because his jaws was left wide open. Now this brings me to the point where I ask, how much you have earned from the breach of the law that criminalized the procession of blessings and curses from the same mouth? Okay, let me guess. The same people that pulled you from hot and pushed you far away from cold, only to leave you in between lukewarm, will do some or all of these 5 things, depending on the radius of your eternal spillage in the cold hands of death. First, use bonus airtime to call your family and give them more reasons to shed more tears as a result of the unending recitation of their own audio version of the book of Lamentations, verses "Why did you have to die now?" From verse "Who is to blame?" to verse "How unfair life is." Second, at the sight of your obituary, they will automatically metamorphose into a gamma lizard with hands on their chins and begin to shake their heads so men can withdraw the stones from their catapult of judgment. You see, the worst is when they come to the house to mourn, yet the only thing passionately crying is the gas cooker in your kitchen. 3, out of the daily abundance of their time allocation of 24 hours, you see, all you will get is just 1 minute, a padded 1 minute of their distracted attention when they sit at social gatherings to debate on whether or not to sponsor the bill for the repayment of the debt life did not give you the opportunity to pay for. 4, reluctantly pray within the generosity of the number of words as stated in their heart, based on the outcome of the case filed against you for drawing a budget that needed to be funded by an externally borrowed ink because you failed to make provision for a pen beside your condolence register. And 5, if they succeed in holding a conclusive election in their hearts, pumping units that favors your family, and the electoral officials happen to be from a tribe like mine, my God. You see, souvenirs worth the total cost of their transportation will be snatched. And the number of plates consumed or cast into their stomachs, if put together, will equal the total cost of their energy dispensed by their physical presence. Therefore, I conclude by saying to you in 3 dimensions. 1, concerning that pending issue, what have you spoken? Now, before you begin to complain, let me remind you that no one has the capacity to say and it comes to pass except he that is all in all confirms it more than you and I, his very own. 2, have you certified or rejected the doctor's report? Or have you forgotten that you may be weak, but God still gave you enough strength to say, I'm strong? You may be poor, but God still gave you enough money to say, I am rich. Now, if all this is said, then speak.
Shem Adonai, El Shaddai, Rabboni.